There.
Oh, wow.
Welcome, everyone. As soon as I turn the music bot for myself down a little bit.
Right.
It is a little loud. A little up there. There we go. That'll be good. All right. Welcome back, weary, worn travelers, to the ruby city of Jaryn Guar. Our adventurers have just wrestled with the bestial nature of that which lies beneath the sands. After exiting the local temple to Calicore, our heroes were waylaid by a small for its species, big for being a worm, a baby purple worm that was being attacked slash hunted slash impregnated by some wasps slash hornets who saw the party and began to attack them as well. A scuffle took place, and fortunately, they were able to neutralize the threat. However, Vidro, our sweet Vidro, took a couple eggs to the torso, and fearing motherhood for the first time, first he was brought into the temple where he was offered a cure from the Kalesh. However, Vidro, seemingly against his own better will, denied the treatment and instead went to one Elvadir, a mysterious doctor who works for the correctionals facility. Luckily for Vidro, although Elvadir is a bit of a sick, nasty freak, Elvadir is also very good at their job and was able to perform the surgery and take eggs out of the man. But you can never take the man out of the eggs. So
Vidro is forever changed.
Vidro is forever changed, and if those eggs ever hatch, they will have a little bit of Vidro in all of them.
Wow.
It's true.
That's
After
cute.
this, the party was met by a odd cloaked figure who handed them a letter before dashing off into the city. Gozzler tried to use arson to follow the individual, and although rolling quite well and their keen eyes being able to follow the target, losing them only for a split second in an alley, the figure seemed to just disappear, vanish, as if in thin air. Arson, feeling a little sad, went back to Gozzler, but probably got a nice treat or something, so I think that they'll be okay. Or maybe they didn't, who knows? Maybe Gozzler never feeds. Do you ever feed Arson? That's the question.
Give him a kiss.
Give him a kiss, that's true. You give him little kisses?
I would never kiss Arson.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Probably. Maybe. I'm not sure.
So after that, reading the letter, it seems that it was from one Mr. Adam Wallace, asking for your attendance in his office. You went to Mr. Wallace's office, where you met him for the second time in your lives now. Adam Wallace, for those who don't remember, is the ruler of Jaryn Guar. He is the figurehead of the Guild of Iron, which is the financial and political backing that sort of keeps all of the guilds in check in the city. Adam Wallace was impressed with your dispatching of the beasts that had popped up, as well as your carrying out another job he had you do that was kind of already on your way, but showed that you can at least be reliable in some sense of the word. As he was getting ready to tell you about this mission, however, he asked if you knew anything about something called the Belfast Core. The party seemed to not have any knowledge of what that was, and kind of in jest, he offered to give you a bit of a history lesson. You find yourselves now inside of Adam Wallace's office. Again, this resplendent, large office space with an entire, water pitcher of iced cold water sitting on his desk. A huge mahogany setup with drawers, with golden knobs. He has this beautiful rug laid out over the floor, and he sits behind his desk, kind of looking at all of you with a bit of a glint in his eye. He leans back and says, "Before I tell you about the Belfast Core and its many uses, as well as its history, I am going to have to ask something from all of you. And I know," and he looks specifically at you, Rahim, "that some of you have issues with keeping secrets. However, I promise you that keeping this secret will not bring any danger onto yourself as long as you don't tell anybody about it. However, I cannot disclose this information to those that I think might be spreading the word around. This is a sensitive one, and it does pertain to the job I would like you to do. Normally, I would have one of my many associates pull this job off for me. However, given the nature of what I'm about to tell you and what I'd like you to do, I need folk that are just expendable enough to if something goes bad, I can deny having any involvement, but are capable enough to hopefully pull it off. It's not exactly the hardest mission in the world. I'm not asking you to, I don't know, kill a bunch of people or steal an ancient artifact or anything like that. But I need your word that you... Oh? Yeah, no, go on.
I sort of feel like you're
Mr.
going to
Beyz.
ask us to kill a bunch of people and steal an ancient artifact. I don't know why I'm thinking that now.
No. I promise you that is not in the job description. There might be a little skullduggery involved. There might be a little skulking about, you might say. But when it comes to murder and or theft of anyone's personal possessions, obviously I'm not going to have you break too many laws. After all, I'm the one who enforces most of them.
Right. So, can we expect any kind of turning a blind eye to our breaking of the law while we are in the middle of your task?
Unfortunately, Mr. Beyz, this cannot link back to me in any way. Not because I'm afraid of being involved in it. I'm not against having my names written onto the records of deeds. However, this one, if it were to link back to me, would inform some very dangerous people of my involvement in a very precarious situation, which would inevitably be quite bad for not only my personal health, but your personal health and the health of the citizens of this fine city.
Are you gonna tell our current boss?
Oh,
You give him a good word.
You're referring to Mr. Snorse. If you like, I can
Yeah.
definitely draft up a letter saying that I needed you in the city for a few extra days. I'm sure that he won't mind. Are you picking up supplies for him? Are you on a timed deadline or anything?
I don't...
Bit of a body run.
Oh, yeah, no, don't worry. The preparations of bodies in the city, once they've been dealt with, we can do the ceremony, I mean, within the day, probably. I'm assuming you've already been to the temple and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as long as you've talked to them, you should be fine. Even if we couldn't get the bodies back to you, we do have a storage system in place and clerics who can keep the bodies intact until such a time of which they can be laid to rest.
All right.
Okay, that's good, and yes, I can keep your secret, whatever.
I'm fairly good at keeping secrets myself, so I could probably keep it as well.
He nods. Good. I'm glad to hear that. He kind of thinks for a moment. What do you know about trade in Jaryn Guar? What's your backstory on our history of commerce here? Do you understand our economics at all?
Oh, no, not me at all, pretty much. fairly new to the big city here. I think Rahim is our resident expert on that. Or maybe Gozzler, you know something from your books.
I know that it involves air travel.
That is correct. It does involve air travel. Very good gold star for you, Mr. Gozzler.
Yeah, I don't know much.
Well, the way that we interact with the outside world beyond the desert is a complex magical system using things called arcane navigators. These are orbs or crystalline structures made and enchanted by one Hezznarak, a mage that is unfortunately no longer with us. He is the progenitor of our ability to fly in the desert and was the one who struck a deal that I will not be able to disclose all the information about to get them working. Now, Hezznarak, fortunately, gave us the information on how to recreate these cores and how to enchant them, and we have since been able to, really attach ourselves to the outside world for the first time. It has been fantastic. The way that these cores work is a little odd. See, Hezznarak had a lot of different relationships over the years. He was a small gnomish fella, and he kind of points at Gozzler. As you may know, gnomes tend to live a little bit longer than most of the folks you'd find in the desert. During his travels, he had met these beings that were attached to the elemental planes. If you know anything about the elemental planes, you would know that those who inhabit them are about as volatile as the elements in of which they represent. Turns out that our previous leader, may she rest in wherever she's ended up, she did not have a great hand with them. She was a little too intense for their liking. However, Hezznarak was able to strike deals with them to help enchant these cores. The cores are attached, each core, to a different plane. These planes have small tears that attach to the prime material plane where we live. The core sends out a sort of a ping and detects where there are weak rifts leading to their respective plane. For example, we have arcane navigators that are attached to the plane of water. If there is a small tear into the plane of water down by, let's say, Baldur's Gate, then we can lock on to that, and the enchanted orb will magically pull itself towards that location. You attach it to a rigging inside of a ship, you get that thing flying with a couple mages, and it pulls itself right along. Now, this has been great for us, however, it is restrictive. We can only go to certain places, and usually it drains the entire core of the enchanted power that it has. Sometimes we have to bring multiple, and our friends from the other side enjoy a pretty penny each time they are enchanted. It is extremely expensive for us to run these operations. Hezznarak had a prototype called the Belfast Core, which allegedly he got each of the different planes of the elements to enchant it. It is enchanted like stack on stack. Think of it like a stack of pancakes, except each one has its own different flavor, right? Now, what makes this so special is that because it can connect to any of them, it can go pretty much wherever it wants to go. Specifically, because of the amount of magical sort of residue that's inside of it, it's been enchanted by, I want to say 6? I could be wrong, though. I don't know how many elements actually connect to the planes. I'm not exactly a planar scholar myself. However, Hezznarak was telling me a few days before he died that it could potentially bring a ship through these portals and cut the time down to minutes between here and Baldur's Gate, Candle Keep, just about anywhere you'd want to go. As long as it has some kind of planar tear near it, you could basically pop out in Jaryn Guar and pop back up there in minutes time. He told me he was finalizing the core, and he was supposed to give it to me about a year ago, but unfortunately he, seems his luck ran out, and he was murdered in his own home. He never told me where he hid the core, and unfortunately, due to our system of government, the way it was set up when I joined on in, it turns out that when a building no longer has an owner, it goes up for auction. And one, you may have met him actually, Amir Slania Rex bought up the building. He's been very difficult for us to work with and won't let any of us investigate.
Yeah, he is difficult.
Around the tower. Yes,
You can
I
say
thought
that
that
again.
you might.
We
I
have
thought you
been
might recognize
introduced.
him.
I think this quest might be a bit of a... What's the word for it? A good comeuppance for the man.
I thought that you would be the right people to take it. I knew there was a little bit of personal difficulties with him when you first came to the city. I will be straight with you. I want you to sneak into Hezznarak's tower. I want you to find notes, secret passages, trapdoors, whatever you can, and I want to see if you can find anything that remarks on the whereabouts of the Belfast core, or, if we're lucky, it could be hidden somewhere in the tower. I don't know. Hezznarak honestly did not give me as much information as I wish he would have when he was alive.
This begs the question. Why did you wait a whole year to take this? To go to search for the Belfast core?
I'm not the only person who knows of its existence, and I don't want those who may have eyes on me to know that I'm looking for it. As far as they are aware, the Belfast core disappeared when Hezznarak died, and there are no leads. I have not shared with many people that we have not been able to look around the tower due to Mr. Amir Slania Rex and his...
Sucks.
Well, let's just say that he's a shrewd businessman, and so far we have not come to an arrangement. So now, unfortunately, I am being forced to turn to this, and seeing as you are here now, I feel like it's the best time as any to do so. If I can, I'd rather not wait any longer.
I do have a few small questions in terms of procedure.
Yes.
I believe that in the common parlance, in reference to this sort of task, there is what is known as dry work, and then there is known as what is known as wet work. I'm not entirely certain if you grasp my meaning between these, but is there or is there not a preference that you'd have?
If you are asking if I want Mr. Slania to be murdered in his home, the answer is no.
Okay, we are on the same page.
Are you
I am very glad to understand this.
I am 100% positive the sudden and mysterious disappearance of the owner of Hezznarak's tower, I think, would come off a little suspicious to the folks looking for the core.
Now, on a much less dire note, does the Finders Keepers rule of infiltration come into play? Now, obviously there is a task that we are given, but I would go so far as to say that a form of petty larceny could even be good towards the end of having plausible deniability. If a few things happened to turn up missing from this fellow's tower, that would be good as supplementary payment.
Your mission is to go in and find information. If you happen to stumble upon any knickknacks that are to your liking, well, it's not exactly like I have an all-seeing eye. As far as I'm concerned, you will do exactly as I have instructed and no more. However, I can't exactly prove if you were to do anything a little more nefarious than instructed.
Understood.
I suppose so.
Could I discuss a separate payment with you at some point?
Well, we're all friends here.
Or,
Anything you can say in front of your friends, I'm sure, should be fine, correct?
Rahim, you wouldn't hide any secrets from us, would you? Rahim.
It's not a secret. It's just uncomfortable. You mentioned the Iron Woman. Do you know why I'm bringing her up?
I can guess. If this is about your familial relations, I don't have many answers I can give, but I will answer as honestly as I can.
Is there any way I could go into her old home? I know that sounds really bad, but I think you might
Vidro's
understand.
like, what's it called? Like covers his mouth and coughs a little bit.
Unfortunately, the private domicile of the Iron Lady no longer exists. It was destroyed in a fire the day that she died, and anything that was left over became my property, of which I mostly smelted down so I can make the little knobs on my desk here.
Oh.
Okay.
They're real nice. They're shiny too. I even wax them and everything. Sorry, that was a joke. It was a little crass.
Would it be fair to take it that you weren't her biggest fan?
Oh, the Iron Lady. She and I never quite saw eye to eye on many things. Political, financial, ethical, moral. The Iron Lady was certainly a woman that existed in the world, and I sometimes talk to her in my life, is what I will say.
Well, thank you for the. I'm glad you have your drawer knobs, or whatever.
You know what,
That's good.
Rahim? I do feel quite guilty about what happened to your kin. And as a show of good faith, he reaches into his desk and pulls out a paper, an inkwell, and a feather, and hastily scribbles down something onto it and kind of blows on it to dry it before folding it up and giving it to Rahim. This here is the address of where your young'un lived for a couple of weeks. It is, as far as I'm aware, in the poorer district of town. Probably is gonna have a couple of bums living in it at this point. But if you'd like to see where she was, maybe you could find a knick-knack or something to remember her by. See a little bit of how she lived while she was in the city.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I wish I could give more.
I very much, I appreciate it a lot.
Well, now that all that's out of the way, you guys have a job to do. I have more papers to sign than you would frankly care to count. So, if you are ready, I would like to have this done within the next couple of days. There's not exactly a huge rush on it. I've waited a year. I can wait a couple more days, but the faster you get this done, the happier I'll be. And who knows, maybe the more jobs I'll have for you in the future.
Thank you.
I think we can make that work.
I suppose we could.
All right then, well, see yourselves out and have a fantastic day, the three of you.
I have to pee. I'm sorry.
There's a bathroom downstairs.
We all have to pee simultaneously.
Oh, that's all right. Well, why don't all of you go pee, and I'll go use my private bathroom that I have here. You can't use it. That's mine. They're all multiple toilets, but they're for how I'm feeling during the day.
I'd like to renegotiate our deal so I can use the fancy toilet, actually.
You can't use the fancy toilets. No, you can use the downstairs toilets.
Ugh.
I had
Those
an
are for
outhouse
me.
where I had 2 toilets, and I would, shit in one and pee in the other. I'm kidding.
How luxurious.
I love the immediate. No, I'm kidding.
I take that back. I can't have that on my character's record.
Between you and me, it's one of the fanciest things I own, but all of my excrement is teleported directly out of the building as soon as it leaves my body.
But
Oh my
where
God.
do you get it teleported to?
I could not tell you,
The
my
poor
friend. I have no idea.
Oh god. Perhaps that's for the best.
Hezznarak set it up for me when I moved in and got in charge, and he's been dead a year, so I really don't know where it's all ending up at this point. And I never asked while he was alive.
Classic arcane secrets.
I wish I had at least a hint of where all of it goes, but I don't.
We can
It's
only
on your
hope
back.
it's not ending up on one of those elemental planes.
If we find any notes of that in the tower, we can also bring that back as information.
Honestly, I will give you a couple extra droplets if you can find any information on where all my excrement goes, because
Noted.
I am, frankly, very curious.
At the notice of droplets, Vidro's eyes grow as big as droplets.
Vidro, your eyes, are you alright?
There's
Sorry,
droplets.
I've never seen, like, I sort of jingled my coin pass and was like, I've never really had this kind of wealth before I left home. So it's, even the fact of finding droplets for you, getting droplets from you is amazing, honestly.
As long as you are in my employ, I promise you, you will find yourself in a lucrative position. That is, after all, one of my jobs is head of commerce here in the city.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Thank you.
I was not joking about using my private bathroom, though. I do need to take a dumpy. So if you could please, leave so I can go do that.
All right.
I can't do it while you're watching. I'm sorry.
We have packing to do and probably a good nap anyways.
It is getting a little bit late. I don't suggest walking around the streets at night. It does get a little bit dangerous. All right, go away now.
We'll see you around.
He rushes off to a room to the side and slams the door behind him as he leaves.
Is it the pee and piss room?
You would assume. You have been left kind of awkwardly standing in his office.
I'm awkwardly looking anywhere but at my compatriots. And I'm like, alright. So I think I need to get new armor if we're gonna stealth into a place because I don't have stealthy armor. So maybe I'll just take my clothes off. The armor.
Okay. I was wondering what you were trying to say. Gozzler, do you know any invisibility spells? Because I know one myself.
Well, I sure don't. I have arson. I could put the average person I could make him take a nap.
I can hear you talking out of my office. Please leave.
Oh, okay.
I was being serious. I cannot go if you are out there.
Well, it's so nice in here, and we need to play. I understand. I understand.
know, but I am turtle heading. Get out of my
Air conditioned.
Okay, let's take this conversation to the streets.
You descend out of the office of Adam Wallace, passing Dolores on the way, who gives you a ooh as you go by.
I caress Dolores as I walk by, like I
You
am a
feel
kid.
the door shudder beneath your touch.
Oh my god.
I resist the sense of revulsion that rolls through my body.
Roll a
Wow,
performance.
at your own wife? Are you kidding?
His own wife?
That's
Damn.
Roll a what?
Performance.
Okay. That is a 13 plus charisma, so that's +5 for 18.
Oh my god.
Dolores sees only love in your heart.
Yay.
Goodbye, Dolores, until we meet again.
Your hand comes back with a sheen of saliva on it, where the door's tongue licks you on your way by.
I have to extra steel myself to not vomit.
Exiting the building, you find a periwinkle sky above as stars begin to dot the vast landscape, and the sun's heat begins to sort of dissipate, only the residual wafts of energy coming off of the sand now warming your feet. The shops don't appear to be closed. There is still activity on the streets. However, it is definitely getting to be the latter half of the afternoon, sort of settling into night here.
The witching hour.
Not the witching hour. That's midnight, my man.
I thought the witching hour was when it's starting to turn dark.
No, witching hour is 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, because it makes fun of the Holy Trinity.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, you right.
Actually, in D&D, witching hour is every hour because witches really exist.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, there is no witch class. However, in Pathfinder, there is a witch class. You can only be a warlock in D&D.
If there's no witch class, then explain the existence of the first level evocation spell, Witch Bolt.
It's Witchy Bolt. That doesn't make you a witch, Brock.
Witches exist in Faerun. They just simply are not adventurers. They're just little freaks that like hang out in like a cave and make horrible little
It's just little
drinks
freaks
and baubles.
You're absolutely correct.
I
So
see.
you stand at the steps of the Guild of Iron, the huge ziggurat standing behind you, a pleasant wind kind of greeting you as you come outside. What do you guys want to do? You kind of have the rest of the night to do whatever you'd like.
Well, I personally think for preparedness sake, I think it'd be good to take a good long rest before we get into trouble.
Vidro looks down at the place where formerly 2 hornets' eggs made their residence.
There is like a pretty nasty looking webbing of scar tissue where the surgery had taken place. You kind of look in your robe, and the skin is also like a little discolored, almost like it might not be your skin.
Oh, well, yeah. So I think it'd be good to maybe. Perhaps we rest up at that inn that we stayed on last time, the stone ship one.
I'd like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Can I meet you guys there?
Oh, where are you going?
Out.
Are you going to go visit that house? That spooky haunted house with the people that living in it?
It's not spooky, all right. And also, I'm gonna scope it out, and I'm gonna look and see what it looks like. You know, and if it's empty, then I might go in.
This city is crawling with criminals, and you think you're not going to get caught by one of them while you're prowling the streets at night?
I don't know. You seem pretty rough and tumble. I think as long as you're safe about it, you could be okay.
Yeah, and I look like, I've got like, I look like I've been beat up a little bit, and maybe they'll think I beat people up a little bit, like tussle.
I suppose so.
You're not carrying any valuables, are you?
Well, I mean, valuable to me. So not really, no.
We don't understand Gozzler. She's filled with valuables. Valuables are pumping through her veins as you speak.
Yeah, but like probably not as much of it as like some people in the desert. Like, if anyone is juiceable, then no one is.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I'm gonna meet you guys there, and I won't be gone long. I'm just gonna check it out, and I'm just gonna look at it. You know that I don't like to wait, and I don't like surprises, and I don't like secrets, and so this shouldn't be a shock. And so I'll be back in a bit. My business.
Just be safe, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll be safe. I can do that.
If we don't hear from you in an hour or so, how long should we wait for you before we send out a search party?
An hour is good. If I'm not back in an hour, then maybe something has gone wrong, but I doubt it.
Okay.
So I'll see you soon.
All right. Well, good luck. I'll bring Gozzler and I will go to this. We'll go to the stone ship and wait for you. Shall we get you a room?
We'll get it warm for you.
Yeah, we'll get the bed warm for you.
Yeah, I'll just, I can, It's cheaper to have one room anyway, so if we just
I'll take the bed like last time.
yeah, sure, and I'll take the other side of the bed on the bed. Anyway, I'll just bye. I start going.
You start going, and a few seconds later, you realize that Rahim and Gozzler are awkwardly walking behind you, as the Rags is also where the Sunken Ore is, which is the tavern that they are off to stay at. So you guys are walking with like a good 10 feet between you, like walking more or less the same direction into the sort of scummier side of town. You watch as these pristine sandstone buildings with like beautiful intricate designs on them start to slowly turn into more plain looking buildings, to sort of small looking huts, to basically lean-tos with a wall of sandstone and then like some sticks holding up a tarp. It gets pretty rugged the farther away from the Guild of Iron you get. The amount of people on the streets is worrying. There are people that clearly have the glass skin disease kind of sitting on the side of the beaten sandy paths that make up the makeshift roads of the Rags. You can pretty easily spot those afflicted by the disease by the bloody soaked rags that they wear over their bodies, trying to conceal or cover this infectious disease. Many of them sitting with brass or wooden bowls at their sides, panhandling for money. You pass by at least 10 beggars on the streets as you go through. The clash of the opulence of the mercantile rings to this sort of ramshackle living situation is kind of startling, and for a second you wonder how they keep the riffraff out, but you begin to notice a much heavier presence of those automatonist guards with the sort of skiffs on the bottom, sort of not really harassing people or haranguing them, but almost making not quite a line, but a sort of pseudo wall between the nicer parts of the city and the Rags. They aren't necessarily stopping people at this time, but it's almost, you get the sense that it's because people have tried to come through with the glass skin disease before and have not gotten through. There's a reason why they are not attempting to do that.
Quarantine, I see.
As you get further into the Rags, you are unaccosted. No one comes up to you, no one seems to really interact with you. Most people kind of seem to keep to themselves, and soon you start seeing some more healthy folks again. The ramshackle buildings turn into, again, these small huts that are not amazing. They don't have doors or anything, but they do have blankets in front of doorways. They have actual buildings that are not just fully crumbled apart at this point. Still kind of a poor district. And as you reach the Sunken Ore, you split ways. For a room for the week, it is for one room for the week, it is 3 droplets. And you get a room for 7 days.
That's a pretty good deal. We could just all chip in 1 droplet. Well, Rahim's not here, but I assume that Rahim would be okay with chipping in 1 droplet.
I think that seems fair.
Okay. You fork over the 3 droplets and make sure to mark that on your sheet. And you get a rather nice, sizable room. It does have 2 beds in it, along with a small hearth that seems to have a magical flame flickering in it, with a small rune that is kind of fueling the flame, giving warmth to the room, despite there being a very sort of cold chill in the air. Switch to Rahim. Rahim, you are alone on the streets following. There aren't exactly numbers to houses out here. As you go, you see the instructions are like, take a left at this shitty looking building, take a right at this shitty looking building, and I guess roll me survival with advantage, as I guess this is kind of like using a map to get to a place.
18.
18, okay. And what is your passive perception?
I think my passive perception is stink. I think my passive perception is stink.com. I think it's 11.
Okay, well, I rolled very, very poorly. As you are walking alone in the streets, there are no lights to guide your way except for the moon high in the sky and the dotted starlight beaming from above. When you begin to hear footsteps in the sand very slowly behind you, but definitely getting closer.
And I really do feel like, could I do like a perception check to see if I can subtly see if they're really actually coming for me or if they just happen to be walking this way?
Roll stealth.
Okay.
You are trying to do this without them noticing that you can see them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. 6. I have
6.
disadvantage on stealth. Well, actually, would this count as disadvantage on stealth?
I would say no. You're just kind of like turning your head a little bit. I don't think that you're doing anything that would like armor would give away.
All right, my first roll was a 16.
Okay. The figure doesn't seem to notice. They seem to be a very gaunt, hunched over figure dressed in those rags, kind of giving away the state of this person. They, in their hand, hold a gleaming, wicked, curved knife and appear to be following you, waiting for a moment for you to like go into an alley or go somewhere that's a little more secluded than this sort of off-shooting road.
How many people are around me right now other than that guy?
It's just you two. It is getting dark and people don't tend to walk the rags at this time.
Do I see, where's the nearest place I could go that does have people?
There are several homes that have candlelight sort of glistening out of them, but there are not a lot of like public buildings out here. Most of the public buildings are either going to be the tavern or in the Mercantile Guild.
Okay, hey, Joseph and Brock, do you guys remember like how, I don't think I wrote it down because I was like, I'll add that later. How much money do we have, like, in a general sense right now? I wrote down 14. Is that accurate?
It might be accurate. I believe we, like, split whatever the number was, just down the line 3 ways. And we got, like, quite a bit from the flame explosion.
Like, I just wrote down, like, my share of it, and I had 18.
Okay. And this is, blood droplets?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I currently have 14 if I take away 1, which I need to do. Okay. What I'm gonna do is, I'm honestly gonna, this is cringe, but I think I'm gonna, ready my weapon and just kind of stand in front of them, looking as imposing as I possibly can.
Oh, okay, so you so you turn and brandish your weapon?
Yeah, I'm essentially like, what do you want?
Roll intimidation.
Alright.
What's it looking like?
8,000.
What'd you say?
Or maybe my voice cracks when I'm saying, what do you want? What do you want?
Oh, not much. Just whatever you've got in your pockets.
Would you take a droplet? That's what I got.
How many you got on you?
1.
Roll deception.
1 droplet.
Oh, it's either really good or really bad.
It's 4 again.
No.
What? See, this sucks. I hate Rahim.
Please,
He's so
I've
stupid.
seen plenty of your types coming through here. New folk in town exchanging your gold for droplets. I'm sure that bag must be squelching with money. Come on, hand it over before things get ugly.
Oh, grind this dude into the dust.
Dude, show this dude what a level 4 party member can do.
I'll say, you can try. I would like to get where I'm going. If you want to try, now's the time.
He does seem to kind of pause at that for a moment, kind of weighing his options of knife versus double-bladed scimitar. He kind of roll a second intimidation. I need something to go off here for him.
18.
He stands for a really long time and kind of makes one step forward and then kind of retracts a little bit.
I try to maintain very steady, I will fucking kill you eye contact.
All right, you know what? You're new in town. I'll take the 1.
And he holds his hand out.
He still wants 1?
If you had taken my offer, I sure would have given you that. But you didn't, so bye.
I think at that he will charge you. Roll for initiative.
Let's go. Kill him. Ooh. Kill him.
Sorry, I will try not to make this last long. 13.
You're fine.
13, okay.
No, delight in this. I love this.
It's actually an 8. I apologize. I was adding my hit.
8?
I rolled an 8.
Okay. He dashes forward and is going to make an attack on you. He is going to... Yeah, okay. Does an 8 hit?
No, it doesn't, thank God.
He goes in for a stab with this slightly rusted looking blade. You very easily kind of parry it and slap it out of the way with your double-bladed scimitar, allowing you a moment to counterattack.
Okay. 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright. Let me get a D4 out. It's always like at the very bottom of my pack. God damn it. Jesus Louises. Alright. Ooh! Okay. Ooh! 11.
11.
Damage.
You slide the scimitar
Non-lethal.
like across his chest, a spurt of blood like raining down. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh.
What I thought you were going to say, Devin, is you slide the scimitar through his chest.
Well, I would never say scimitar.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Leave me alone. Anyway,
23.
Scimitar.
Okay. The man stumbles back, holding his chest, and kind of looks at the blood on his hands, and looks up.
Well, you've already drawn a droplet from me, so I guess I'll just go collect this instead. Watch yourself in the rags.
And he, like, with this kind of badass line, then limps kind of pathetically off into, like, an alleyway and disappears out of your sight.
I'm like gonna book it out of the rags. Because I was lucky with that one, but I'm not trying my luck.
Okay, so you're straight up just leaving the rags?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring my friends with me.
Alright.
They're gonna have to be there for me.
He just walked into like the poor place, slashed a guy, and left.
Listen, I had a mission. It was compromised.
Gozzler and Vidro, what are you, as your door opens, Rahim, you've been given a key. The bartender knows that you were coming around. You've been given a key. You open the door. Rahim and Gozzler, what are you doing?
You keep saying Rahim and Gozzler, bruh.
Shit, you're right. Gozzler and Vidro.
Bruh.
No,
It's 3 whole characters. Obviously, I'm gonna get confused.
hypothetically, I can turn invisible. It is possible.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna need a volunteer from the room, and I think you're the only one who can do it. And what I'm gonna need from you is I just need you to smack me really hard.
Wait, like, you want me to attack you?
If you wouldn't mind, not too hard.
Wait, you mean just like, should I use and then I go to reach for my quarterstaff?
I'd prefer you didn't, but
Alright, I was
make sure it
expecting.
worked.
Alright, I hope you're ready for this. I roll an unarmed strike against Gozzler.
Oh my god.
All right.
Does what do I add to unarmed strikes? Do I add anything?
Strength
Ah,
or
fuck.
dex, I think.
Does a 12?
A 12 does hit me.
No. All right.
Anger.
What damage
Dull.
does an unarmed strike do?
It's 1 plus strength,
Oh, it's just 1 plus strength.
and it can
Nope.
do 0.
and it can do 0.
I've got a +1 to strength, so it's gonna do 2 damage.
Are you hitting him open hand or closed hand?
Closed fist.
Vidro fucking socks you right in the fucking mouth.
As I get thunked in the head, I use my gnomish my gnome racial feet fade away, and I become invisible.
What?
You watch
Amazing.
as Gozzler's head rocks back. Rahim, you open the door and you see Gozzler reeling back from getting punched by Vidro and then disappearing like Frodo. It's just in the middle of the room.
I knew it!
No, wait. I said, Gozzler asked me to do that. See, tell him, Gozzler, and I go to reach for the space where Gozzler was.
I think at this point, as it has been approximately long enough in terms of turns to be the end of my next turn, I come back.
Gozzler reanimates and just has like a bloody lip.
Ta-da!
Are you trying to tell me that you can become invisible, but you can only become invisible for 6 seconds?
Yeah, it's really good, right?
Like, I don't even say anything. I just, like, start taking off my legs and dumping the sand out of them onto the carpet, and I start trying to lay down.
So rude.
Hey!
Who's gonna clean that up?
I'm gonna get it tomorrow. I'm tired.
No, that's fair. I mean, like, there's a lot of sand. I assume that they're probably used to it.
I suppose.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get it tomorrow.
Rahim, how did your escapades go in the on the other side of town, or in this side of town?
I didn't get to see the house because someone tried to hug me, and it didn't work. I didn't even have to give him one. I was gonna give him a droplet, and then he decided that he wanted more than that, and so, you know.
But Rahim, I tried to tell you that it's dangerous out there tonight, and you still went out. You're lucky you weren't killed.
Well, I don't want to drag you into my mess. You know, I've got my own stuff going on. I know it's topic, so.
I mean, I kind of feel like we're using the buddy system here. And hypothetically, I think that not only would I be personally upset if you got, like, mugged by someone in the streets, I also think it might be bad for our business relationship in both the job given to us by the government and also from the archaeological dig people whom we have assigned us. I think we're Diamond Team. I think we're Red. I think that's what we were.
Yeah, you're right.
Something like that.
I might ask you guys to come with me next time, but I'm good for today.
That's
I
fair.
take my other leg off and I dump it into the trash can because I've been nicely treated now. I'm just kidding.
There's actually a receptacle for sand, just marked sand in like multiple different languages, and it's just like a bucket filled with sand.
I see it. Do one of these.
They pulled out all the stops. The sand hole is so nice.
Wow. I tell you
That
what,
is
we really
actually
got our
great.
money's worth for this place because 3 droplets. We could have, that's almost camel money,
Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
Dear Lord. But I suppose we should hit the hay for the evening.
I think that'd be good. My my mouth hurts a little bit.
You are I'm very sorry.
It was impressive, right?
It was impressive, and it is good to know that you can do that. Sorry about your lip.
Nah, it's okay. I can't do it for another couple hours anyway. It's not very helpful.
Is that something you learned to do in school, or can all Gnomes do that?
I think it's just kind of like, we're sneaky fellas. Sometimes you just look really convincingly like the trees or like the ground. It's just kind of a natural charisma that we have.
Interesting. Well, it's good to know. Hopefully it won't come up. Hopefully we won't be hit at all sneaking into the tower. But well, given our luck, probably not.
I'm really excited for tomorrow. I think it's gonna go well.
We'll have to plan more on it in the morning. But for now, I think we should get some rest.
True that.
Yeah.
All
Good night.
You.
Gozzler, do you want to share a bed?
Yeah, I'll curl up on the bottom of it like a dog.
Yeah. You don't even have to worry about the legs being in the way.
Exactly. I'm only like this. Well, it's not like you know what that means. I'm only this big.
I guess Gozzler curls up like a dog at the end of the bed.
I'm short enough that really, like, if I lie like sideways, then it's just kind of like lying long ways.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh, true.
You guys,
Okay.
I guess, 2-person T-pose into this bed, and soon dreams take you. And the night fades away. That night, hold on,
Oh no.
hold on.
You change the music?
I might be changing the music.
Ding, 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 ding.
That night, all 3 of you have terrible nightmares.
All 3? Are they the same?
No.
Oh.
Gozzler, you dream of Jaryn Guar, but something is wrong. You're walking through the streets, and there isn't the soft crunching of sand beneath your feet, but the cracking of broken glass.
Oh.
You look down, and there is just shards of blood red glass that is covering the entire street. The homeless that you saw along the streets now count in the hundreds, almost covering the land like a blanket, all of them crying and calling out to you, holding out hands with weeping sores and blistering skin. They grab a hold of your robes and beg you to help them, to use your magic to heal them from the curse that is slowly devouring their bodies. And soon you feel it too, this curse climbing from their skin into yours, your skin cracking and becoming brittle as if woven from a tapestry of stained glass itself. And soon you find that even you cannot move. You look up, you see another traveler walking these same roads. You look at your cracked and weeping hands and hold them out in a gesture of faith, and you begin to beg for help. Rahim, you find yourself in a hole, a pit, somewhere far, far away. Around you lie dark shapes of broken bodies lying in a heap, rubble and stone crushing them into the ground. You hear a soft crying and the almost soft dripping of water that almost sounds like it shatters upon impact as it hits the ground. You hear a very familiar voice. She's weeping and calling out to you. Someone to save her. Someone to drag her from the ground and bring her back to the sky so that she can breathe. No matter how hard you tug or pull, you can't move the stones off of her or her compatriots lying around her. You look up and watch as the small glint of light above slowly but surely becomes darkened as something is pushed over the only escape, and you are left in darkness. Much.
Hate that.
Vidro, you have a very different dream. You find yourself at home. You are sitting there. Your brother is sitting next to you, and he is staring into a fire, unblinking, unmoving. In the fire, you see crackling glass instead of flames, unnaturally moving as if given form and life. As it moves and shifts, you see a face begin to appear in the flame. A recognizable visage of stained glass peers back at you with malice and smiles. A twinkling, crackling voice reaches out to you, not quite coming from the thing in the fireplace, but more in your mind. And it says, "My apostle, my acolyte, it is time for you to begin spreading our message."
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm strong enough.
You do not need to be strong enough, Vidro Beyz. That is what I am here for.
You watch a hand come out of the fire and hold up a small glass effigy out to you.
Spread the word of our gospel, and let my eyes see this wonderful new place.
As I step forward to take it, I step between the fireplace and my brother.
The figure does not seem to notice this act of defense and gleefully palms the effigy into your hand. It burns as it touches your flesh.
You are gifted, Vidro. But remember, these gifts do come with a cost.
I know. I promise I'll do you proud.
Oh, you don't have to promise. I know you will.
And with that, you watch as your brother and your house are engulfed in crackling glass flame. You feel both the sharp blades sinking into your skin as well as the scorching fire marring your flesh, and you feel yourself die in this home. And all three of you, almost simultaneously, wake up in a cold sweat. Sunlight is leaking through the window. There's something wrong about today, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Rahim and Gozzler, you can barely remember what you dreamt of the night before, a passing whisper. but Vidro, you remember every excruciating detail.
Excellent.
May I confide in you two with something that's perhaps a little bit sensitive?
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, sure.
I really, really, really am excited to be a sort of cultural envoy in representing the people who sent me here. However, on a personal level, I just want to check and make sure that we're on the same page. That this city's kind of terrible, right? Like, objectively speaking, like there's some like cool aspects and like the culture and the people are great, but like the whole administrative portion of it is pretty nightmarish, right? And the blood economy, I like respect it and I understand that it comes from scarcity, and scarcity breeds like harsh realities, but it's pretty terrible, right?
You know that I think it's terrible. I've made that clear, I think.
Yeah, but like, and like I understand that it's not new to you, and like you're grumpy about it, but like it's horrifying, right? It's like scary.
I'd be inclined to agree. I miss my old village as much as the rest, but I think they're doing with the best with what they've got.
Let me just say that it's horrible, but this is better than what it was, and I do not mean that as a compliment.
It kind of sounded like a compliment.
It is not.
All right.
I still hate how it is, but it used to be a lot worse.
I just sometimes I think like, hey, if the options are living in a place where the totalitarian blood government will suck you, the alternative would be leaving your home and like your people and your culture. I think at a certain point, I'm not saying it's at that point, but I think at a certain point, I would expect the emigration rate to skyrocket.
And immigrate to where? It's all desert out there, Gozzler.
That's the biggest reason. It sucks out there.
Oh my! I suppose that's correct.
Remember all the little baby ruby scorpions? That was the worst part.
Okay, not the worst part, alright?
I
Also,
think it was the worst part.
why'd you, immediately wake up with that thought?
I just feel I'm just having a hard time. Maybe I'm homesick. I didn't sleep very well last night.
Oh, my eyebrows peak up at this fact. Oh, what did you dream about?
I'm not exactly certain. Do you ever feel kind of like, I think just like the grit of the sand is like getting to me. I just kind of like woke up feeling a little scratchy in all the wrong ways.
I don't remember anything in particular. Like, sometimes I've heard about prophetic dreams of fire or glass or anything like that.
Mr. DM, in a word, how would the vibe of the dream would you describe that?
The vibe of the dream would be very glass-based, and the worst. Just a bad dream, like just like not. I think that Gozzler's had nightmares before, but they're usually about things he would be scared of. This was abnormal for you. Like, this is not a normal nightmare. This felt almost otherworldly in a sense, even though you can't remember all of the specifics.
I think maybe I just have some bad karma. I think I've been a little bit too fast and loose. I think perhaps it's a turning point. This is a different day.
I understand completely, but please feel free to confide in us any dreams that you have, because in such a magic-ridden place like this, who knows what they could meet.
Do you ever feel like you fought a broken window and lost?
Every day, buddy. Every day.
Yeah, I think I'm joining the club today.
Yeah. Glass. Yeah.
Oh, you too, Rahim. That's great.
No, sorry.
Oh, you were just arguing. You were just agreeing with the broken window thing.
I'm glad you guys had matching dreams. That's good.
Oh, my dream was fine. I just had a wee bit of a nightmare. I miss my family back home. You know.
Right. Yeah. Same here. Also miss my family and might have had a family nightmare.
Interesting. Well, I suppose we can start planning our route of attack for the wizard's tower.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think that there's a couple approaches we could take. If we wanted to go full stealth, I think that that's possible, but probably not the most sustainable. I remember last time I sent Arson upstairs, the upstairs exploded.
Right.
And that caused a whole ruckus.
And he's small too, so.
If we got the drop on what's his face, I'd bet that we could either put him to sleep or like make him. I could just. There's a lot of things that could happen socially, but that would link us very firmly to the place.
That's true. Gozzler, I'm not really familiar with the extent of your magic. Do you know any spells that could potentially disguise us, or perhaps make us look a bit different from what we are?
Making us look different? No. Well, let me think. Actually, let me crack this little guy open. I open my big book.
I'll be plowing through mine as well, and I pull out my book of shadows.
Vidro, as you go to pull out your book, you realize that your hand has been closed since you woke up. And as you go to reach out, you realize that there is a small effigy in your hand that has, like, burned a mark into your skin, and you just didn't even seem to feel it. It has either apparated from your dream or was placed there. You're not entirely sure, but it is definitely not one you made.
I quickly stash it away with the other two that I did make.
How bad would it be if? So I have this old chestnut here, which, remember the fella who, so I could make him do something, but he'd stop doing it when he did it, and once he did it, he'd come back.
What are you talking about, Arson?
No, I could just like. So there's this old the classic. It's the power. It's the power of suggestion. And I could just make it. I could say, hey, like, take a walk until you feel nice. But the vagary there is that as soon as he feels nice, he's gonna be done, and he's gonna come back, and it'd be over. And also, it might not even work in the first place. In which case, he'd probably be suspicious of why I just like am just so nosy about what I think he should do. It's up to him how suspicious he'd be about it. And if it didn't work, it wouldn't work. But with the use of a little bit of luck and some arcana, I could like tell him to like go find a nice rock, and then that'd give us the chance to like scoot-diddle in, hide, and they'd be like, oh, where are they? I was gonna show him this rock, but we'd be gone at that point. But he wouldn't know we're upstairs.
Could you like say, take a walk for 30 minutes? Like, can you do that?
I think that would well, it has to be a little bit simple. I think that like hypothetically it could work.
What if you just told him to get out of town?
Well, I could do that. But then the second he hits the city limits, he'd probably be like, why am I out here? That wasn't my plan. And then he'd probably just come back.
That's true.
Yeah, he'd be a little suspicious.
Right. I was thinking, perhaps to really get a better feel for what we should be, like, what we need to prepare ourselves for, we just go and walk by the place and sort of scope it out.
Yeah, let's case the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I think we should be careful that he doesn't see us, if possible.
Oh, of course.
We've served our nickel with him. I don't think that we have no legal dispute with that tiny sham of a sorcerer.
You said that.
You're very right.
So you guys are heading out of the sunken ore.
Sounds like it.
Make her outside. It is a strangely, like, it's not water haze, but like there is a lot of wind kicking up sand, and so it's not like you can't see very well, but it's more like everywhere you look, you're kind of getting sand in your eyes, and it's very irritating. Like, it's just like a crappy day in terms of being in the desert. It is no less hot. It is the exact same amount of fucking too hot. And everyone who is outside does seem to be a little bit miserable. A lot of people are wearing their hoods or scarves up. A lot of the beggars on the streets that you pass as you go out of the rags are just looking down at the sand, not looking up at all, trying not to get sand in their eyes. And
Oh god.
about 20 minutes later, you find yourself back at the mercantile chain. And standing at the very far northeastern end of the chain, there is a tower sort of standing out above the rest, with trees and grass marking itself very loudly in the city.
What's loud?
The building is, because it has plants.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha,
visually
thank you.
loud. It's the
I was
only
like, it's
green
making-
thing among a lot of yellow and brown.
Yellow and brown alert. Does it have like a crowd today around it?
No, it is, from what you're kind of discovering about the Hezznarak's tower and it being owned by this guy, is that it might have been successful at first, but you sure haven't seen a lot of people actually going in there since you've come to Jaryn Guar. It does not seem to be a hub of commerce.
Woof. I want to walk around it and see all the different entries.
You approach the tower.
Including windows.
It is this large standing structure, just one single column with a sort of steepled roof. It has a large front door. The building itself is made out of what seems to be kind of like a plastered together cobblestone, and the building seems to have 3 windows, one for like each floor. Like they're all on the northern facing side of the building. So like if you're looking at the door, they're like on the left side of where the door would be going up, and there's 3 of them. All of them are firmly latched, you notice. None of the windows seem to be open right now.
Okay, 3 windows north facing this floor.
As you approach, you do notice a small, brown-skinned port-belly man fling the door open and walk out. Hello! Welcome to Hezznarak. Oh, what? Why are you? Get off my goddamn. He starts fumbling in his pockets. Where'd I put my fucking. He pulls out a sheet of paper and holds it aloft. You see this? This is a copy of the deed of this building that I own. All right, you're not allowed in here without my say-so. And he kind of wiggles it in front of your face before stuffing it back in. Like he's got like a fanny pack on, and he stuffs it back in. Now, what do you want?
I look at the rest of my party, and I look back at this stout man. Oh, we really wanted to apologize for what we had done earlier, and we actually brought on a little gift to say sorry for everything.
You say gift, and he immediately perks up. Oh, so you've come around to old Amias Lanier Rex's side of the aisle. He crosses his arms. Well, I'm a pretty forgiving gentleman, but it depends on what you brought me. What are we looking at?
Well, we only procured. It's actually something of my own creation. One of my finest works, I must say. And I reach into my pouch and pull out the recently apparated effigy of from God.
He kind of squints and snatches it out of your hands and kind of looks it over. A bauble? You bring me a bauble? What is it? I mean, it's a cool lion, but what? Does it do anything?
Can you, like, can we talk in the corner real quick, Vidro? Like, can we just talk real quick? And I like motion to not very far
outside.
away.
There's no corners here.
Oh, I also have a gift for you if you'd like it more than glass.
He does shove the glass effigy into his pocket. Well, I mean, if you're offering, of course, you know, I was gonna say the bauble is a little light.
So you might not know this about me, but from our prior experience, but I'm an appreciator of the arcane, and so I thought you might appreciate this. I give the little clap, and pull out Arson in full Raven regalia. I thought you might appreciate this is what appears to be a raven, but is in fact actually a fiend. He cannot harm you. And if I tell him to, he'll just be your pet forever.
Both Amir and Arson look at you very confused.
I also look confused because
Wait, you're gonna give me your devil bird?
Is anyone else offering you a devil bird?
I have a couple other offers for devil birds on the table, but
why are we wasting giving the bird to him? Like, we can sell that for way more.
Whoa. Now listen, I'm a man who understands the art of the deal, and I can tell I know a good gift when I see one, and that bird right there, that's a beautiful bird. He goes and he like scratches Arson under the chin, and Arson, if looks could kill Gozzler, Arson's gaze would bore a hole through you. You know what? The little glass knickknack and the bird, I suppose we can let bygones be bygones.
I'm really glad to hear that. It makes me feel a lot better. I'm a visitor in this town, and the first thing I did was just cause a lot of trouble. And this is the least I can do.
All right. How do I summon it? How do I call it to me?
I made him just now, just special. I think that but I'll tell you what, if he pops away, like if he poofs, you can find me. I'm in town for the foreseeable future, and I can bring him back if you break him. He's a little bit hard to break though.
Sorry, my roommate's PC just blue screened twice in a row, and I looked at him with horror because I got mad.
Why are you doing that?
Oh, he's eating whipped cream out of the can.
oh, that's why.
I mean, that's fine, yeah.
Oh.
That sounds good.
Oh, I'm gonna buy some whipped cream.
Oh, it's creaming time.
There's so much cream in it.
Midway through every session from now on, we just have creaming time. We all take out an off-screen can of whipped cream and just...
Thank you. I was veritably stuffed with cream. No, so... yeah, he can poof? I just meant, how do I, like, get him to come to me? Like, is there a command? Like, do I say, come hither, bird?
His name's Arson. If you have, like, a rat or something, he'll probably come on his own volition.
Like the crime?
Yeah. He's a scoundrel. He is a malevolent creature in a bird's body.
Fair enough. He reaches into his fanny pack and pulls out a dead mouse.
What?
Come here, birdie, birdie, bird. Here, Arson, my favorite fire boy.
Go ahead, Arson. You'll like this.
He seems nice, actually.
Arson flutters over, grips his forearm. Whoa, he's got some talons on him. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he does. We love him for it.
Arson nips at his fingers several times as it eats the mouse carcass in one go, and then kind of stamps on his forearm. Can birds feel anger? It seems upset.
He doesn't seem upset to me.
He's had a hard week.
He leans into Gozzler, kind of holding the bird out with one arm. Hey, between you and me, is this bird gonna peck my eyes out or something? Am I safe with this thing?
He won't. He definitely likes you more than he likes me.
That's true. He seems to really like you.
He looks at Arson, and Arson does bob his head up and down in agreeance. All right, new best bird friend. Well, now that I guess we've come to terms together, Rahim, are you still pulling Vidro aside?
No, that was just to be like, don't give him that. It's
I see.
I see.
All right, what can, was this just a social call? What can Amir Selenia Rex do for you today?
Well, we were just so tempted by your offer of touring the tower that we really wanted to see the magnificent palace that you live in.
Oh, you want a tour of Hezznarak's tower?
We have money this time.
You have money this time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I mean, being one of the most famous attractions here in Jaryn Guar, it's only obvious that you would eventually have to come back to see the wares in a legal light. Well, let me hold on. He turns around and you watch, he seems to be doing something with his hands in his fanny pack, and then he turns around and opens his hands, and you watch as sparkles crackle in the air that spell out Hezznarak.
I start clapping wildly.
Thank you. That is one of my many good tricks.
Oh my god.
Yes. Welcome to Hezznarak's tower, once a famed magician of Jaryn Guar, lost to us a year ago by terrible assassins. I took it upon myself to restore, and you look up and the building is like kind of half crumbling, like in terrible condition. It's got like holes in it. Keeping this historic monument to magic alive in Jaryn Guar. For only 2 droplets each, you could enter into Hezznarak's tower and see what mystical wiles he had. And now I have.
Surely for such great friends as us, you could get a good friend's discount of maybe just 1 droplet per person.
I don't even give discounts to my mother.
Oh my god. Oh, a shrewd businessman, I see.
You gotta make a living out in these sands.
Okay, how much per person?
It's 2 each. However, I do know that last time you came here, you were a little stripped for cash, and you did give me this bird, and also this knick-knack.
I wouldn't go around calling it a knick-knack. Not to its face or anything.
He pulls it out of his pocket and kind of throws it in the air and catches it a couple times.
I look at it in horror.
It is a glass lion. I don't know what else you would call that besides a knick-knack.
So,
Yeah.
it's a significant little knick-knack. It's meant to bring good luck, as long as you treat it properly.
Oh. He shoves it back in his fanny pack.
I cringe.
I'll put that on a shelf somewhere.
Excellent.
Good to know. Yeah, no, listen. Typically be 2 each. Tell you what. For you, special offer right here, right now, for my best good, great friends in the world. It'll be 1 each. However, he reaches into his fanny pack and pulls out a stack of flyers and shoves them into Vidro's hands. You gotta put these around Jaryn Guar for me, all right? On the
Easy
front,
peasy.
it is hand-drawn in sloppy penmanship. Hezznarak's tower, new and improved, refurbished by the one, the only, the great Amir Selenia Rex. And then just like a little drawing of a tower on the front with a little with little trees and like a rainbow behind it.
Good.
So thing, we'd love to promote such you can tell Vidro struggles to come up with positive synonyms. Such a and I turn to Gozzler and Rahim.
Yes? Such a what?
Amazing.
Amazing! Oh, such an amazing establishment as yourself.
And good. I like
and
it.
good. Okay. He holds out his hand for money.
I give him one.
Reluctantly, I hand 1 blood coin to the con man that lives in the plot-relevant tower.
He kind of jostles his hand at Gozzler.
Repeat that.
I would like 1 blood coin from you, my little sir.
Oh, of course. And I reach in and I plonk him one of those little drop Marties.
He shoves them into his fanny pack along with everything else and zips it back. And,
My eye twitches just a little bit.
leads you inside. You are brought into the first floor of Hezznarak's tower. A wide room stands before you with colored banners hanging from nearly every wall. The stone circular room is festooned with Hezznarak's name in different fonts on each one of the banners. A lectern stands at the far northern section of the room with a limestone slab acting as a sort of desk. The western wall has stairs leading up to the next floor. It seems pretty barren in here, save for the banners and the lectern, and Amir walks you over to the lectern upon which sits a leather-bound book, and he says, "This here is a ruby scorpion leather book made by Hezznarak himself. You see, he dried the carapaces and was able to kind of like stretch them out into a book cover, and he opens it up, and there is scribblings in a language. What language do you guys speak?
Ooh.
Primordial and in common.
Common, Gnomish, Infernal, and Primordial.
I got common and abyssal.
None of you speak this language. It is
God damn it.
written in a language you do not recognize and appears to be like research notes of some kind. This here is one of my favorites. I like to put it on the first floor to show people right off the bat. This was Hezznarak's personal journal. Now, I've had several experts look at this, and none of them have been able to decipher the code. They think that it's a smashing of a couple of different languages, but no one's been able to crack out what all of them are, although apparently one of them is Sylvan, from what I hear.
Interesting. Gozzler, you're good with books. Do you recognize any of the languages that were smattered in there?
I could try and take like a.
Yeah, roll, I guess, just intelligence to see if you've learned this before, like if you've read about or studied language.
Sure, that's a +4. Going click this little button here. It's 23.
Wow.
You do recognize one of them is written in several of the fonts. Every third letter is written in giant.
Oh.
Well,
I don't speak it, but that's giant runes. I've seen. I never learned, but you can tell by the way it is.
wow. That's so perplexing.
Out of his fanny pack, he pulls out a notebook and scribbles down with a charcoal pencil into it, and then shoves it back into his fanny pack. Good to know, good to know.
Knowing's half the battle in the tower. That's what they always say.
All right. Well, that's the book. If you would follow me to the next room. Also, he presses, he goes to the wall and presses a button, and the floorboards open, and you see 4 mastiffs resting like in little cages, By the way, I just wanted to let you know that Tinkle, Stinkles, Wrinkles, and Gabby are all doing quite fine after your kerfuffle scuffle. I just wanted you to know that they are being well taken care of, and even though your sleep spell gave them some stomach aches, they are doing pretty well.
I'm very glad to hear it. I would never hit a dog.
Yeah, speaking of stomach ache, do you have a bathroom?
No.
Is Rahim doing all right the past couple of days?
You don't have a bathroom?
If I'm fully honest with you, I just poop in a bucket and throw it outside.
We had heard
See the
that.
bucket?
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Sorry,
what?
I made that rap.
Can I,
You want to use my bucket?
I don't want to use your bucket.
I only got one. I only got the one bucket.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna.
I paid gold to be here, so what? You're gonna just kick me out because I have to go to the bathroom?
No, you can use my bucket. Are you comfortable with that?
Where's the bucket?
I've had some pretty gnarly. It's on the top floor. I like to watch it fall all the way down. I'm a nasty little freak like that. I don't got a lot of entertainment in here other than my great magics.
Okay,
And my dogs.
am I good to just go up there, or is there gonna be like a trap or something?
Oh, no, you should be fine. I mean, it's go to the top. It's technically my bedroom. There's not much in there. Please don't touch my things. And whatever you do, please do not look through my writings, okay? That is an original story. It's mine. I don't want you publishing it or anything. It's not ready yet. But yeah, no, my bucket should be right next to the bed. Just kind of slop it out the window. I think it's currently latched. Just make sure to relatch it when you're done.
Okay.
Do you want me to keep giving your friends the tour, or should we wait for you, or?
That's okay. I've actually, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be back.
Okay, goodbye. Have fun, I guess. He didn't really tell me if he wanted me to keep giving you guys the tour, so I guess we'll wait.
No, give the tour. Give the tour. Give the tour.
Oh, give the tour?
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
Okay, all right. Well then, let's move to the second floor. He walks you guys up the stairs and onto the second floor. Climbing the stairs, you see a room full of trinkets and baubles sitting under rounded glass cloches. In total, there are 10 items sitting under these glass cases on what seem to be these limestone plinths. There is an inkwell, a small glass sphere that seems to be encased inside a wire mesh, a spool of golden thread, a red feather, what seems to be an unrotten lime, a bowl of sand, and what seems to be a nose, just like a person's nose. Nope, not gory or anything, just in a cloche. A tiny prototype of the iron guards that you've seen outside, but made out of clockwork. Rather than running on blood, it runs on little cogs. It does not seem to be moving. It just seems to be dormant. And one cloche that doesn't seem to have anything under it. The final cloche seems to have a very traditional looking wizard's hat that still has some maroon blood staining the rim.
They just got a dead man's hat in here? Oh my god.
Welcome to the artifact room. And as he does this, Gozzler, you recognize this. Vidro, you may recognize it, just depending on if you do or not. He casts thaumaturgy, and as he says room, it echoes into room.
Oh my god.
He wiggles his
I once
fingers.
again clap fanatically.
Thank you. He bows. Dozens of papers fall out of his unzipped fanny pack, and he scrambles to put them back in. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to leave that open.
I bend down to help him pick up some of the papers, but obviously I'm trying to hide the fact that I do want to look at the papers as I pick them up.
Roll stealth with advantage as he's distracted by picking up the papers.
Okay. First one is a 15. The other one's a 3.
The paper seems to have, it's written in common, and it seems to be a romance story of some kind. It seems to be an entire page dedicated to talking about a bosom in varying graphic detail of someone who breasted a little too boobily, and he very quickly snatches that out of your hands. Those are running drafts of my novella. Thank you for helping me pick those up, but these are rough drafts. These aren't the final ones.
Of course. I would try.
No. These are just sometimes when I'm here and I'm waiting for people to come by, I just scribble them down with my pencil. A little. I mean, if you wanted to proofread it or something, I definitely wouldn't tell you not to. I mean, do you want a copy or?
Oh, perhaps at the end of the tour you can provide me with the manuscript and I'll look it over for you.
Oh, all right. You a bit of a writer yourself. I mean, have you what kind of books you into?
I mostly just read the one. I hold up my tome of shadows. I mostly just read this one. I've read it a few times already.
Let me tell you, the Salty Tales of Crabio. I've read those a million times.
I actually haven't read that one yet. Do you have
he reaches into his fanny pack and pulls out a full hardcover book of a man with a. He has like a crab-like carapace with two big crab claws, but flowing beautiful hair that is like going behind him, and a silver sword gripped in one of his clawed hands, and a beautiful crab woman like in his other arm, and they are like on a ship sailing the seas. And he says, "Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite series. I have all 12 of the books."
That description just hit me like a flashbang grenade. Wow!
Do you like? You know what? Some of the pages are a little dog-eared. He palms the book into your hand and says, "This is not a gift. I am just spreading the joy of Crabio to a fellow avid reader. So please do bring this back. It is a limited copy, and you can only get these in some of the main cities. I had to go all the way to Baldur's Gate to get this one, and that was a hell of a trip. It's already hard enough getting out of this place."
Oh God, I completely understand. In fact, I open up my knapsack. I'll even put it in the treasure section.
Oh, he blushes. Oh, you. Sorry, I got a little distracted. So reading is my passion. Along with writing, of course. Yes.
I like this guy.
Would you like a description of what all these are? I could give you the lowdown on these. Or you can look around to your own merits. All of them have plaques that describe the items. I could just stand over here. I thought I'm a bit of a gabber.
Just for my mind palace to be more enriched. So I'm assuming round room.
Yes, it's a round room. There are 10 items sitting on limestone plinths with a glass cloche over them so that you can see what they look like, but they are covered. And there are 10 of them in total, and they sort of span the far-facing wall of the room in a semicircle, with the very centerpiece being that magic hat.
Mm-hmm. So they're in a circle. In that case, I'm gonna attempt a little maneuver.
Okay.
And I'll lay it out for you so that I can know if this makes sense spatially with the room.
Okay.
I would. Is there interposed? I'm imagining that interposed between me and one of these artifact cases is like fucking this dink. This dink is in between me and one of these many cases, right?
He currently is not. He is standing by the stairs. You are kind of in like a pseudo line by the stairs. The stairs on the opposite side of the room to the cloches, if that makes sense. So if you think about a big circle, there's a semicircle on one side opposite of the stairs. You guys are on the other side.
In that
it's
case,
not a huge room or anything. It's probably like 10 by 10.
Gotcha. In that case, out of curiosity, what do you do if more customers try to show up while you're giving a tour?
Oh, that's a good question. There is actually a bell outside, and if you ring it, it makes a little illusory image of me, and it goes, "I'm on a tour right now. Please come back later, or wait a few minutes," as most tours last between 15 to 20 minutes.
Wow.
Okay.
He's such a talented magician.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
So what's the deal with this hat?
Oh, the hat. Yes.
He kind of springs forward over to it, kind of gesturing you over.
This here is the hat that Hezznarak was wearing when he died.
Oh.
Yeah, they took the body away. However, I got the hat before they could take him. Huh?
How apt. Is it valuable or is it sentimental, do you think?
I really don't know, to be honest. It's just kind of look at it.
And you look at it, it is a like a bluish purple hat with silver stars all over it. Like it is a classic ass wizard hat.
Ooh.
Classic for a reason.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And you know what? I haven't and he pats his big belly. Maybe when I shed a couple of pounds, I can rock it out on the streets.
Hey.
Are you implying that your head is too large to wear the hat?
I'm saying that it doesn't really look very good on me right now. I'm not a very confident guy. I'm not the best looking in the world, and I just I don't feel
hats are for everybody.
Listen, you know how it is. I don't get a lot of sunlight. I stay indoors. I don't eat the best. I'm not really an outdoorsy guy. This is about Hezznarak, not about me. The point is, I just don't want to. I don't want to ruin an artifact.
All I'm saying is this hat's like half my size, and I think I rock it pretty well.
I suppose we could talk about a purchase. I'd have to
I mean the one that I'm currently wearing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'd have to run you a pretty penny for this thing. There's only one Hezznarak, and he is gone.
So there's actually 0 Hezznarak.
So I guess right now there are 0 Hezznaraks.
Oh my goodness.
There was one Hezznarak.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Did you want to know what these other ones do?
Yes. Actually, sorry, Gozzler.
No, you go. You proceed.
Okay, I was actually interested, and I lead him towards the bowl of sand. What is this doing here?
This is one of my favorites, actually. This is a sentient bowl of sand. Ask it a question.
I lean in very close to the glass. And I say, "Are you a sentient bowl of sand?"
A moment goes by, and soon the sand begins to shift into the letters YES.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's great.
This is crazy.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
is it smart?
I've asked it quite a few questions. It doesn't seem to understand fully, life. It understands things as sand. If that makes any if you could ask it a couple questions, free of charge.
Well, thank you. I lean in close and I say, What? Do you enjoy being in that bowl?
The sand shifts and spells out a grain or an ocean. Sand is sand.
How poetic.
Yeah, no, it does shit like that sometimes.
Oh gods. I'm a bit of a collector of sand myself. I need a lot of it to perhaps. Hold on, I'm going to ask you a question before I approach you with this.
Yeah, no, go ahead. It's exciting.
Sand. Can I call you Sand?
It spells out
shit.
yes.
I'm using up my questions. What do you know of glass? Have you ever wanted to be glass?
The sand spells out I do not want.
Quint.
That's quite the interesting artifact you have here.
Yeah, I really don't know where it comes from. A lot of this stuff was just in the building when I bought it, so, you know, it just kind of came with it.
Have you thought about getting it inspected at all? Any of these things detected for magic?
Oh, well, being a purveyor of magical arts, I've done my own research, and at the very least, none of it's dangerous.
Oh, that's good. As I mentioned earlier, before I asked it that question again, I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to grains of sand.
Sure.
Perhaps I could take it off your hands, and I could study it for you.
I've never found sentient sand until this. I have found one sentient sand, and it's that there. I feel like it's one of my better attractions here in the tower. The hat and the sand are kind of my two favorites, to be honest.
What do you mean? You've obviously got that, and I point at the empty exhibit.
Oh, that one's one of my favorites as well. He runs over and he opens the cloche, and you hear like a thud on the ground, and you hear footsteps of something moving. That there, it's just like you just hear it like walking around the room. And he says that there was Hezznarak's unseen servant. Turns out it never desummoned. I have no idea why, but I accidentally bumped into it one day, and it just kind of is around, so I put it in a cloche.
It fits there?
Yeah, it just kind of, I assume it just kind of curls into a ball, I guess.
Interesting.
I don't know, it doesn't listen to me, and it doesn't talk, and it doesn't really do anything besides kind of just walk around.
Isn't that what we're all really just doing if you reduce it, like, to its most basic elements?
No, I eat and sleep and poo.
Shit.
Yeah.
I poo shit.
As our friends here are having this very thorough tour, Rahim, you are ripping ass. No, you are on the you find yourself on the 3rd floor of Hezznarak's tower, and this is very clearly two things. One, definitely his bedroom, like he definitely sleeps up here, and two, definitely the scene of where Hezznarak was probably murdered. There is a stain of dark maroonish black in the floorboards here, in the kind of pseudo shape of a person with like a white chalk outline around it. There's a huge hole in the ceiling, just kind of like there's a cot in the corner, and there is stacks of papers on a desk in the corner, like maybe 1,000 pages.
Can I give the pages a quick cursory glance? I think they're probably the romance novel.
Looking over them, you blush depending on how much of a prude you are. You read incredibly graphic, thorough depictions of mostly boobs.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly, almost every page has at least a sentence or two about someone's chest. A lot of the other pages, weirdly, about the carapace, as if the person has both boobs and a shell. It doesn't really make a lot of sense without context.
Oh god. I don't look at that anymore. Out of curiosity, I do want to look at his out his window.
You look out the window and look down, and there is like some brown streakage on the side of the building that you can only really notice from up here. And way down below, there is a patch of like greenery that might not all be just fake illusory magic. There might actually be some plants growing down there at this point.
How nice. How quaint. Okay. Does his room have a door?
No, it is just the stairs and what you've seen.
When the window latches, I don't really want to climb into this shit window. And there's a hole in the ceiling anyway. So I'm not gonna worry about that anymore. Can I quietly knock on the walls to see if I feel one that's a little empty?
Yeah, roll investigation.
Alright. Do you also want me to roll a stealth?
No. I think Amir is being heavily entertained by his two guests.
I'm heavily entertained by this bowl of sand.
Oh, sand. I like the sand.
Good sand.
19.
19. You don't hear any hollow sort of alcoves in the walls.
Okay. I wonder why he got murdered. Do you guys think there's anything else I should look at? At least we know there's a way to enter in, but I also don't want to enter while he's sleeping necessarily. Does he have desk drawers?
The desk does not have drawers. It is kind of like just a limestone slab of a desk.
Oh. I look under his bed.
Looking under his bed, there are a bunch of books. Oh god, yeah, so many socks. Like you get down there and you just get like a reek of man stink. Just so strong. There are a lot of books down here that seem to maybe be the pages are kind of stuck together, but you don't really want to think about it. There doesn't seem to be any treasures under there, unless your name is Amir Selenier Rex, in which case it is a trove.
Bountiful.
I'm guessing basement.
Yeah, basement. So I'm thinking that I don't think there's anything else I necessarily need to look at. Do you think I could get away with going down all the way to floor 1? You guys went up to the second floor after I went to the bathroom, right?
They're on the second floor, and the stairs are pretty open. Unless his back was turned to the stairs, he would see you.
If I, like, put my head Scooby-Doo style, like, could I, like, try to look at those two? Roll
stealth.
Yeah, if he sees me, I'll just be like, you got me. Yeah. But I want to see if I could maybe get away with it.
What is your guys' passive perception?
I've got a 10.
I've got a 13.
Okay. Rahim?
9.
Okay. All of you see as Rahim pokes his head out from the stairs. Oh, are you done your shit? Did you throw it over the side?
Yeah, thank you.
Very quickly, while he's looking over at where, while he's looking over at towards the stairs, which is not in my direction, correct?
He is not looking at you. That is correct.
I am going to very quickly try and pull a minor illusion of the sound of glass breaking up 20 feet up.
Okay. Yeah. He kind of looks up. The hell was that? Rahim, are you? I don't even have anything glass up there.
Oh my god, I might not have latched the window. I'm really sorry. Hang on. Let me go check.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I'll come help you. You two, could you, for a second? I'm gonna go help your friend who apparently doesn't know how to shit correctly. Pardon me. And he scrambles up the steps after Rahim.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Case the joint, case the floor. Observe, investigate.
I start thumping my hands palm-wise on all the floorboards to try and find loose ones.
Okay. Roll investigation.
Investigation intelligence. That is a 3 plus 2 for 5.
The floor here, sturdy as hell.
I figured as much.
I'm gonna first I'm gonna look at the case that I think you said it was like a orb covered by like a wrap or something.
Yeah, there is one of the cloches contains let's see.
Also, what the fuck is a cloche?
A cloche is, you know, when you are served like a dinner, like in a movie, and they have like the little circular thing with a little knob on the top that opens it.
Like Beauty and the Beast.
Like
yes.
Beauty and the Beast.
That's
it's
what
like
I was
that.
thinking.
So all of them have a cloche that can be like taken off the top fairly easily.
Okay.
It is a small glass sphere encased in a wire mesh.
Ooh, a small glass sphere encased in a wire mesh. You
can also read what the plaque says to see what it is.
What does the plaque say?
The plaque says Orb of Cleaning.
Oh. Not Orb of Fireball? Come on.
God damn it.
This wizard's lame.
And so let's see, we got okay. That's the orb of cleaning. There's the feather.
You have maybe 2 action/checks left before you hear Amir starting to come back down the stairs.
Oh shit.
Oh wait, can I like stall him?
Yeah. What do you want to do to try to stall him?
I'm gonna point to his manuscript. I read.
No! What do you mean you read it? You weren't supposed to. Why are you reading my? I told you specifically the one thing not to do was to read my manuscripts.
I
asked so nicely. You
I
guys
really
hear?
liked it.
You guys, did you like my manuscript?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Roll deception.
Ooh.
Maybe I did like it. Hang on. Hang on. Ah. I hate my life.
Oh no.
My team sucks.
What'd you get?
3.
He crosses his arms and eyes you up and down. What was your favorite part?
I liked the part where you were describing her boobs.
Oh my goodness, Madam Crustacean? Of course, yes. That's you opened it right into the middle of the book. Honestly, one of my favorite chapters. And he starts going on this long spiel about what happens in the middle chapter, involving cloacas and holes. It's horrible. You two, you have 4 things that you can now do before he comes back down. You've been given double the time.
Which floor is Arson with him?
Arson is, yeah, I guess he's just on his fucking arm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Frog.
I know what I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to ask the sand another question.
Okay.
I say to the sand, if I took a little bit of you, would that sand also be sentient?
The sand shifts and an unsettling message reveals itself. We are all listening.
I don't honestly know what to do with this information. Oh,
I hustle over and in a very low voice just whisper, Belfast core ? Thoughts?
The
oh shit!
sand shifts and spells out where he fell.
Fuck! I don't understand that.
All right.
You wanna go? Oh, I guess we have to go check on. I guess we gotta go. I hope the window's not broken. We should probably go check upstairs to make sure that there's no poop and glass accident.
I suppose so. I say with a fake concern and also a British accent.
Rahim, you hear them saying this, however, it is drowned out by Amir just going off. And honestly, the part where they touch antenna for the first time is a beautiful, beautiful sentiment to me. You know, I really feel like the two characters, they spent a lot of time together at this point in the story. And although they've betted each other many times, this is the first time that they really connect on an emotional level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you
like,
crying?
actually-
Are you crying? That's beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad you like it.
I like, you know, I don't talk to people much about this, but I thought that was one of you. I was like, bro.
Did I do that? I didn't do it.
Me and my wife, we were very different people, you know, and I connect with that idea that
Oh, you're gonna start making me cry. He moves in for a hug.
I hug him.
He hugs you back. Arson pecks at the back of your neck as you hug.
Ooh.
Oh, kill him.
I'm gonna.
Vidro and Gozzler. I think as you are coming up the stairs, you see this scene of his back to you as he's hugging Rahim, who looks maybe a little mortified.
I'm gonna do something that might be a little bit bold. So when I warg into my familiar to like see through their eyes, I just kind of ragdoll, right?
I think it's more like in like Game of Thrones where like your eyes roll back and you just like can sense through them.
Okay. In that case,
I think we've had him ragdoll in the past, though.
Have we had him ragdoll?
Yeah, because he
Ragdoll?
could hold our shoulders.
Yeah, well, that's not ragdolling. That's he can't see or interact with the outside world. He can still move his body.
I think we might have, because I distinctly remember singing the song "Ragdoll Living in the City."
Nah, that's that.
Damn, maybe you're right.
it's also fine if not. Because
I don't know if everyone but me seems to remember ragdolling, then I think I will give it to you that you may ragdoll.
Ragdoll.
Because basically, what I'd like to do, is I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna go up the stairs. I'm gonna try and throw myself down the stairs. And as I ragdoll, as I start to see through Arson's eyes and just try to like look at the floor.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna ragdoll over the bloodstain.
No.
So, Rahim, you look. Vidro and Gozzler have crested the stairs. They look at you. You make eye contact with Gozzler. His eyes roll into the back of his head, and you just watch as he careens backwards and just.
The last thing I say before I do it is, "What's happening?"
Gozzler, you're gonna take. Hold on. I know how tall his tower is.
Are the stairs enchanted to do non-lethal damage?
They aren't, but you're not gonna take the full. You're not gonna take full fall damage.
Oh no!
Let's see.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yes. All right. Hold on. You take 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's exactly the right number for this to be fine.
You just you hear these sickening cracks and crunches as Gozzler fucking ragdolls down the stairs, and you hear a low moan from his body of just like a from the first floor where he's landed. Oh my god, what happened to your friend?
Rahim is gonna run down with actual concern because I don't know any sand stuff.
Yeah, I think Amir is going to join you. And I think with your psychic connection to Arson hops off of his arm. He doesn't even seem to notice it. He is fully like, oh my god, this guy just died. As far as he's concerned, Gozzler's fucking dead.
I have 1 health.
Oh my god,
You're fucking us.
I have 19 max hit points.
Oh god. Rahim and Amir run down the stairs. Vidro, you are left kind of stunned as Arson begins to, I guess, like, peck at the floorboards where
Oh god.
Yeah, he's just gonna try
what's he
and
gonna do?
actually, I'm gonna have him
Arson Randall.
start to, because it has a range of touch and he's a
Okay.
familiar.
Okay.
I'm gonna start to cast Identify on the thing,
On what?
on the stain.
The stain. Okay. You watch as the bird begins just like. Are you doing ritual cast or just the minute?
The minute.
Okay. A minute goes by. We see downstairs Amir is cradling Gozzler in his arms, like Ivan the Terrible Son from that one painting. And Rahim is just like standing there like, whoa. A minute goes by.
I'd like to cradle.
The blood is just old blood.
Shit. In that case, I'll take the L and just do a normal investigation on the
Okay.
the little death scene to see
Okay.
if
Roll it
if
with
anything-
advantage,
Okay.
as you do know that there must be something around here.
Okay. Investigation.
He's so
and then-
nice to me.
Windows snip tool for posterity.
Oh,
He's so
oh,
sweet.
baby.
I give him little keys.
A little key.
And then he
21.
wakes up and gets mad.
21. As Arson is picking and pecking, his beak gets stuck in the floorboard, and he kind of wiggles it out. And as he does, the floorboard, it's not that it was loose. It seems that the nails weren't nailed into anything, and it comes loose and kind of clatters to the floor. And underneath, there seems to be an iron lockbox.
Pog.
Am I still up here?
Yes.
Okay. I will sort of gently push Arson aside, and I will take the iron lockbox and hide it in my cloak.
Okay. You stuff it into your cloak. You now have a box.
Okay.
His sick duty fulfilled. I will replace my consciousness into Gozzler.
Okay,
God.
everything hurts so bad. Amir is crying over you, just like he was like a son to me, like a boy. Oh my god, he's alive.
Oh,
You're like a little doll.
I'm not pressing charges. I'm just glad that I got to be here.
He stands up immediately relieved. Oh, all right. Well, listen, I can't offer you a refund. However, if you guys would like to come back and look at some more artifacts free of charge, you should get yourself to a doctor or something.
Yeah,
This happens
oh my god.
all the time. I have staircase-related narcolepsy. It's a known fact.
It's a gnome fact. Oh. All right. Listen, listen, little buddy, if you ever want to come look at magic sand or something again, you just let old Amir Selenia Rex know.
I'd like that very much.
Mr. Robe Man, your friend's not dead.
Oh, thank God. I was simply just done to move. I'm sorry. God, why am I British? I mean,
I,
Vidro.
my
There we
voice
go.
has changed like every time.
I know.
It's so hard for me to remember what it sounds like.
With that,
I hurry down the stairs with my companions.
I'm guessing we, as we kind of close out this session, we watch as our heroes, maybe with some smiles, maybe with some just genuine concern for their friend Gozzler, who is bleeding from the head, like rather profusely. We watch as Amir Slanir Rex climbs the stairs, stepping past blood splotches that have been left on the cobblestone. He reaches the top, looks down, and sees arson, and sees a plank of wood that has been moved aside, never put back in its place. He looks at it inquisitively and kind of looks down into the hole and looks down the stairs with an odd glint in his eye. And that is where we are going to end today's session.
I thought Arson would put it back.
Never get a fiend as a pet. They're always removing floorboards.
God damn it.
Arson can be desummoned and resummoned anywhere, so I just assumed that to keep up the ruse, Gozzler was keeping him there.
For sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say he definitely doesn't have to still be up there. I just assumed that unless stated otherwise.
Oh, the old taking near lethal damage to
To get a box.
You got Moxie, kid.
You got Moxie, I'll give you that. Oh,
I do
man.
I like to think of the alternate timeline where this is how my PC dies.
I would literally freak out.
Oh god.
Oh god. Well, thank
So
you
we
everyone.
go on a diamond hunt.
We would sue him for the entire tower.
As you should.
You could come back as the sentient sand.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. I bet that's fun.
Sentient
Just one
sand
grain.
character, yeah. Your attack is to just like give someone like mild eye irritation.
Sand attack.
Like it's not blinding, they're just like, ow, what the fuck? Ow.
I have the stat block of a familiar, but I can't move.
You can only respond.
Oh,
Oh
Lord.
man. That was a great time. Thank you guys for
I had
playing.
lots of fun.
I will see you guys for Wednesday next week.
Hell yes, chef.
And, I'm gonna go stop sweating because oh my god, it's so hot in this room. Oh my god, I'm dying.
Hell yes.
Oh my God, poor man.
Goodbye.